Hey everybody, what's up? It's Madison.
And Jeshua, and Jeshua.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We are so excited to announce that Joshua has recently had his birthday. Happy birthday, Jesh!
I'm old. My last year of my 20s. So today we're going to be talking about things we wish we knew when we were teenagers, or as Madison put it when she brought up the idea, things we wish we could tell our teenage self.
And if you are a teenager or you have experienced blindness as a teenager, or just in the spirit of growing up, feel free to give this video a like. We'd also appreciate any feedback you've had for us, and let's get into it. I think this is the biggest thing that came to mind when reflecting on this topic. I wish I hadn't overthought how my blindness made me different from everyone else. I feel like as a teenager, I was among my peers and trying to figure out who I was, but also because a lot of people had already associated me with my identity as a blind young person at the time. I really wanted to figure out who I was aside from that. When the result of that mentality was something that I wish that I could take back. It just really impacted the way that I separated myself from other people. I felt like I had a hard time relating to my friends because I had overthought how my blindness really impacted the way that I socialized with people, because I felt like I was holding back. Looking back, I probably would have told myself to not really think about it, that people would accept me for who I really was, and also that honestly, just everyone is trying to figure out who they are at that time. There wasn't any reason to put myself through any stress or to put myself through any social anxiety just because of my blindness.
You know, of course, there are going to be those people, those jerks or those rude people who do give us a hard time for being blind. But I feel like sometimes we put so much expectation on ourselves, and it ends up being, like you said, we're the ones who are holding ourselves back rather than what's actually going on. We think that people are going to react to us being blind, when in reality that's just the expectations that we're putting in our own minds.
Yeah, exactly. I was always told to prove myself to other people, because I was always told, yeah, you need to prove that you are better. And while that is true to some degree, where we're always striving to make ourselves grow in certain areas of our lives, at the same time, especially when you're that young, just enjoy that time in your life, because you're never going to get it back, and you can make so many more relationships if you just connect and support each other that way.
What I wish I could tell my teenage self is use your cane. For obvious reasons, I probably wouldn't have ran into so many poles or trash cans. I've dropped my lunch a couple times because I've bumped into something that I didn't see, and I'm sure my teeth would have thanked me for not getting bashed in with all the walls and poles and pillars I've run into. But aside from that, it just would have made me more confident with my vision. Kind of like we were talking about in the first point. The reason I didn't want to use my cane was because I didn't want people to think of me as being blind or visually impaired, which is ironic. It contradicts what would end up happening, because since I'm not able to see well, if I would run into something, I would have to explain to people that I'm blind.
Yeah.
But that's what I didn't want to associate with in the first place. So it's just like, dude, what are you doing? Just use your cane. Nobody's tripping.
Exactly. It's like a backfire, and you have to learn it the hard way too, which is the hard part.
If I were to tell myself, my younger self, you do just use your cane, my mobility skills would have been a lot better, a lot more comfortable and confident with my traveling and just who I am just when I'm hanging out with people. And it's unfortunate, and I do understand, like when I see people, they talk about they don't like using their cane because people treat them a certain way or things like that, but it's you who's living your life, it's not them living your life. So it's just about being confident and comfortable and being able to do the things you want. Now if I wasn't using my cane, then I would definitely be struggling, shuffling my feet and sticking my arms out in front of me.
That's right. That's right.
I would be walking, doing the zombie walk.
My point is to have enjoyed my hometown. As a teenager, when you're stuck at home most of the time, living in a suburban neighborhood with limited transit, you just feel kind of trapped. And I don't know why I made it such a big deal as a teenager and put all of my efforts into school just to leave and move to a different city, only to find myself back at where I started. Now I live back in my childhood home, and I'm reaping all of the benefits that I missed out on as a teenager. I think everyone learns to appreciate their hometown a lot more when they leave it and then come back. But I'm just so grateful for where I grew up, and I have learned to appreciate my family for supporting me then, and also how they're supporting me now, because this place is still barren with transit and they're still driving me around, and they are helping me out in that way. So it's so nice to be able to experience that and see that what that would have felt like if I was back in my teenage years and I actually appreciated my life for what it was then. I think it would have been nice to have told myself to just keep on making more memories there, so I would have more to tell now. But back then I was just so anxious about leaving. I honestly am geographically challenged here. Like, I'm still learning about my home.
You know San Francisco better than you know your home.
Yeah. Sadly, I do.
If it's not an ideal situation, then find a way to make it a more enjoyable one. Try to get out, explore, try to network with people around your area.
Yeah, and the online community is so supportive now too. I think the connotation around having online friends, like that negative connotation, has died down a lot over the years. And so there are so many support groups out there to help young teenagers or just blind people in general. Like, we're a part of a lot of them, and the community there is really strong. So yeah, you can even start there.
All right, so my next point, do your best in everything you're doing. The reason I say that is because those of you who know me, family, friends, whoever else, they know that I kind of slacked off when I was in high school. I definitely wasn't reaching my full potential. I was just kind of coasting at the most. And it's not only holding me back, but it's kind of like a disrespect to teachers helping me and willing to work with me on the different accommodations so I can succeed in their classes, because they are doing everything they can to help me out, and I'm just letting everything go to waste. So I would have definitely told myself, man, it's going to be beneficial for you. It'll be your way of showing appreciation to your teachers, to the staff members, if you do your best. Definitely something to be mindful of, because there are people who are there who are trying to support you, who are willing to work with you, who want to work with you and help you succeed. But it's, in the end, what it all boils down to is you wanting the success, you wanting to do better for yourself.
Such an admirable thing to say, especially when you're reflecting maybe, I want to say almost 10 years, right? 10 years back into your life.
Say that. I had to think. I was like, what are you talking about? Way to bring it up. Fun fact, 10 years ago, I had transitioned from Facebook to MySpace, or MySpace to Facebook.
Fun fact, I had just gotten to Facebook. Oh my gosh, Jesh still had his Tumblr listed on his Facebook, and I called him out on it.
Chill out.
Or thank you so much for watching this far into the video. We hope that you have learned some valuable life lessons or have related to anything that we had said in our previous points. Being a teenager it's a bumpy ride, and everyone has their awkward or interesting moments during that time period. So we hope you had fun listening to what we had to say.
Yeah, and if you would agree with any of these messages you would tell your teenage self, or if you have any specific messages you would tell your teenage self, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. We'd love to hear it. If you like this video, hit the like. If you're not already a part of our community, then hit the subscribe button. We definitely appreciate the support. And that's it. So we'll see you all in the next one.
Bye!
If you would like to watch more videos on the topic of blindness, check out the links in the description down below. We'll see you in the next one.